Alright guys, so it is time for another RC Weekly. Anyways, for this week, the only thing I really was working on was the RC mini movie. Other than that, I also did the animation for Nebula, finally. Because yes, I would like to go ahead and start doing update or upgrade videos with her. She's pretty maxed out, but at the same time, she still has a lot to go. Especially getting rid of all these tires and getting better ones. Because, yeah, not to mention, come on, 27 megahertz. It's a terrible remote to have for this RC. Especially since she has a Millennium system in there with, of course, the Castle Creation ESC. There we go. So yeah, she needs some love. Anyways, let's go ahead and get to shoutouts. Alright, so for this week, channel shoutouts go to Dragon and Steeler and Dylan 5000, Ben Auger, MasMoto, Luki22, and RC Concept. Guys, if you want a chance at a shoutout, just be one of the first to ask for one in the comments below. Alright guys, so let's go ahead and do some Q&A. First one comes from Model Cars and RC Trucks Guy. If you had to track this X-Max, what would be your first upgrade on it? Honestly, I haven't even really looked at the X-Max yet, and I feel kind of bad. The only upgrade I know is the ones that GeoStealth R1 has done. By the way guys, if you haven't seen his channel, go check it out. He's a pretty cool guy. But yeah, definitely would like to get the 8S conversion. That looks fun. Having an RC that big with that kind of power, that's just crazy. Crazy fun. Next question. Alright, this one comes from NSD201. He basically says he is a new subscriber and a born-again RC fanatic, which is always awesome. He just got the Wrestler XL5 and he was wondering, can you go over the parts which should be aluminum versus RPM plastic for bashing purposes? Honestly, RPM A-arms are the best way to go. The shock towers are a must. Of course, go with the bumper. Those are pretty much all the stock things that everyone says to get. For aluminum, I would say get an aluminum bulkhead immediately. That's one thing you want to do. The fun thing about the Wrestler is that you have to find out where to put aluminum and where to have plastic. Like for example, with the steering knuckle, you want that aluminum, but you want the caster block that goes over it plastic. The reason for that is, well, the aluminum knuckle will keep the screw that goes through it straight, but if it hits enough impact, the caster block around it is going to bend and let it pop out. It will prevent things from breaking. That's the main thing, is that the plastic will bend and absorb the impact while saving the aluminum, but at the same time the aluminum will support it. So aluminum steering knuckle and a RPM caster block. The same thing goes for the aluminum bulkhead with RPM A-arms. The bulkhead is going to keep everything straightened pin-wise, but at the same time, if you hit something with a A-arm, it's going to bend and absorb the impact. For the back, same thing goes for the axle carriers. You want to get aluminum axle carriers, but RPM A-arms, same reason. The aluminum will keep things straight with the pins, but at the same time it's going to bend around. The thing that gets a little bit tricky is with the gearbox, the transmission, because in theory it would be a good idea to have that be aluminum, but from what I've tried, especially with Nexus, because I had an aluminum gearbox for her, I find out that the RPM one is actually the better route. It's too much weight to have a full aluminum transmission, and it's one of those things that if you hit it wrong and warp any part of it, the whole thing's out of commission. So yeah, definitely go with RPM gearbox. Other than that, the only other aluminum I can think of putting on there is just pretty much for show. Yeah, that's pretty much it. So that's my advice on there. Next question comes from Derp. Do you have another hobby instead of RC? I'm really into art. I have a couple videos posted on here of, actually I think I just have the dragon but I want to go ahead and do it. I'm working on a Predator face that I've been neglecting for a long time, but I'm going to do a video like that with the 7-headed dragon that I did. I love painting, I love drawing. I also, this past year now, I really got into Magic the Gathering, a card game. I mean, it was kind of funny because someone sent me a donation a long time ago with a booster pack, and I never really thought about it. They also included a 20-sided die, and I just kind of brushed it off to the side, but my friend was like, hey, that's Magic, and he just would not stop, so he eventually got me addicted to it. So now I'm addicted to Magic. Other than that, I have been a long-time gamer. That's why I've been doing the Minecraft videos on here, which it's more of a... I've been getting into that a lot lately. I kind of wore myself out on consoles because I used to play them as much as I possibly could. I was hopelessly addicted to that. I think that's it. Pretty sure that's it. Yeah, we'll go with that's it for now. Next question comes from Schwent RC Racing. If you got a different branded RC for your first RC, if you could start all over again, what would it be? Good question. Let me see here. If I was going the nitro route, I would definitely go with HPI. But someone I just been talking to recently, he was talking about Armada. I'll just put the name right there. But yeah, he's been mentioning this brand, and it's a fairly new brand, but he has a few of these RCs. And if you want to check out his channel, there's a link in the video description, along with all the channel shoutouts. I like these RCs. I would love to check them out if I was going to start the whole thing new, and I would definitely go with that route. Traxxas is good. I really have no complaints about it. But if I had to choose something different, yeah, that would be my choice. Next one comes from Drake Deneau. If you had one tool, what would it be, and which tool brand do you prefer? I already know that one. I've mentioned this a couple of times. I would always go with Hootie. I love this brand. These are by far the best hex screwdrivers I have ever had, and they are incredibly rare. In, I think, Japan, you can find them everywhere, but they're really pricey. A lot of people said I should get MIPs. I know GeoStealth R1 gets or has them, and a few others, but I never had MIPs. I might get them someday just to check them out, but honestly, I just love Hooties so much more. Well, not more, because I have never had MIPs, but yeah, you get what I'm saying. Next question comes from MK1345. Do you have a P.O. box? I do not have a P.O. box. P.O. boxes are actually kind of expensive to rent out. And yeah, I don't have money. So people who've always sent me donations in the past have, I've always just gotten in contact with them through my email, the darkeclipticheart rcprojects@hotmail.com. Like that, there we go. And yeah, I just talked to them through there and just had them send the donation to a personal address of someone I know. But yeah, that's how I've been getting donations. So yeah, just if anyone wants to send me something, just contact me at darkeclipticheart rcprojects@hotmail.com. I tend to forget to check that email because I'm an airhead, but yeah, be patient with me and I'll check it as much as I can remember, and yeah, we'll go from there. Next question comes from Justin's RCs. Please tell me the name of the wire mesh that you have on all your RC wires. I don't know the name, actually. I have been donated the wire from numerous people, but the only one that I've ever known to really know where to get it from is GeoStealth R1. He has a video on it. And just go to GeoStealth R1's channel and look at his videos and search for wire mesh, and you'll find it right away. He tells you where you can get it and the sizes that you need. Next question comes from Overkill RC. On my last question, thank you for asking, but does the RC screws kit help screws not strip? And how did you de-anodize a VXL 3S motor? Ugh, I hate that. Yes, RC screws, they're stainless steel. They're not gonna rust. So right there, you're not going to have any stripping problems. Now, if you have bad quality tools using cheap Allen wrenches and stuff like that, yeah, you're going to strip them. But in all honesty, I have never stripped one of the screws from an RC stainless screw kit, except for the grub screws, because those are kind of finicky with the size, especially when you're trying to put them in the pinion gear. But yeah, it will definitely help prevent that. And how did I de-anodize the VXL 3S motor? Oh, that thing was a pain. Alright, so if any of you have seen my Jester upgrades, you will notice that eventually I did de-anodize the motor. That was a pain to do. My initial idea was to use oven cleaner. If you use oven cleaner, it can eat through anodizer really easily, and aluminum, so you have to be careful. I have a video of how to do that. It's a tricky process because they changed the formula for the oven cleaner grease lightning that I used to use, so it's not as effective, but also depends on the part and how the anodizing was done. But yeah, I ended up just wrapping the motor with paper towels and then spraying the paper towel with oven cleaner, and it was the only way to keep the oven cleaner onto the motor without it dripping all over the electronics. And this was a very long process. This took me like 2-3 hours of just wrapping it with paper towel, spraying the grease lightning on it, let the deanodizer eat off a little bit, pull off the paper towel, throw it away, put on fresh paper towel. It was a very, very painstaking process. And then even after that, it still didn't all come off. What I ended up doing was I literally just got a very, very, very fine sandpaper, and I mean, I think it was well over 500 grit, but I ended up just sanding it all off. You sand it off, and then all you have to do is buff it. I mean, if you have some metal polish, and then you put that on a buffer, like what you have for your car, you can just spin buff it, and oh, it looks so good after that. In fact, I should go ahead and redo that, because this motor it looks good, but at the same time, it doesn't have that shine I want it to. So, you know what? I think I'm gonna shine it right now. All right, so I went ahead and took off the motor, and yeah, might as well go ahead and do this. When else am I gonna do this? But yeah, you can see that I have this foam polisher. It's kind of dirty, in fact. I've been polishing a lot of metal with it. But yeah, attach it to just a normal drill bit. This is the metal polish that I get. I find it at Walmart. I mean, it's just basic stuff. But yeah, go ahead and just squirt it all over there. Then, go ahead and get the motor, push it into the foam, because believe me guys, it's gonna absorb it really quickly. Ugh. But yeah, now let's see if I can do this on camera without messing everything up. Put the sides. Woo! Yeah, don't do that. Alright, so now you can see that it is covered in this black stuff. Those are the imperfections in the metal. That is what you want to get rid of. So all you have to do to show off that nice shine is get a rag, preferably cleaner than this one. This one's been used so many times. But just go ahead and rub off all that black stuff, and believe me, there will be a lot. Alright, and then you can show the motor under it. Whoa! And it's going to look even better when I use a clean paper towel. But yeah, use a clean, wet paper towel, wipe it off, and then use a dry paper towel and get the rest of the polish off. Okay, well, before I stick this in there, let's see how well this actually turned out. And yeah, guys, it's one of those things, the longer you go, the better it's going to look. But I went for like just a minute, not too long, because it's cold outside. I don't want to be in the garage. Oh, wow. Does that look good or what? Look at that shine. You can actually see the camera. Woo! Alright, and there you have it. Man, that looks so much better. I should have done that a long time ago. And the coolest thing about this is that you can buff any metal like that. Seriously, guys. I haven't done it with an aluminum piece yet. I should try that. I wonder what it'd be like if you did buff an anodized part. Ooh, that's interesting. But yeah, as you can see, I have Jester plugged in. Everything's working fine. So let's go ahead and do one last question. All right. Last question comes from Trivia/Kubing. What do you think? Should I put an MIP X Duty CVDs on my Rustler VXL? That is some intense strength for a Rustler VXL. Yeah, go for it. Why not? I know I would if I had the money. I mean, I've never really had any problems with the plastic ones breaking. And thanks to Coyote0976 and his donations, I ended up getting the Traxxas high velocity CVDs in there. So I've never had to worry about it. But now that I think about it, I know there's some people who have complained that the plastic ones are broken. But you can bypass that by getting the heavy plastic /4x4 rear drive shafts, and you can throw those into a Wrestler. And those will withstand a lot more force than the stock ones that come on it. And that's it. Alright, now it's time for the feedback. Guys, I asked last week if I should go ahead and open a Patreon, you know, to help out with upgrades, and everyone was for it. So I think it's time for me to go ahead and set up a Patreon. I'll go ahead and try to do it this Thursday. If not, it's going to have to wait till next week because I am working a lot and my schedule is just so full. In fact, I had to stay up pretty late tonight just to make this video. But anyways, I will go ahead and see you guys next week. I don't really have a feedback question for this week. But yeah, anyways, take it easy, keep our scene, and yeah, don't get sick. I'm finally not as sick as I was before, so I'm happy. Finally enjoy work and sleeping again. Oh, sleeping is wonderful when your nose isn't stuffed up, or if you're coughing. Oh yeah, or having a fever. You know what? Just sleep is miserable when you're just sick. Take it easy, guys, and I'll see you next week.